Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody, you are welcome. As you are joining us, you are welcome. On Facebook, you are welcome. On YouTube, you are very much welcome. Thank you for joining us again today. It's always a pleasure to have you around. Please, we are going to give you about 1 minute to share on your timeline, share on your WhatsApp, share on your groups that you belong. Just call everybody to connect with us. Let them know that Storytime with Darasimi is online again, and we are here by the grace of God to bless your life. So please go ahead and share. Go ahead and share. Let me give you about 1 minute, 1 minute to do that. All right. Let me use this opportunity to once again officially welcome you to the Storytime with Darasimi show. Thank you for joining us again today. You know, it's our duty to be online by 1 o'clock every Saturday to bless your life with different packages that we have for you. It's been a wonderful year for us so far. Since we started this program, we have been going from strength to strength, and we are happy that we are able to continue to be a blessing to you. So thank you, everyone, whether you are watching us live now or you are even going to watch after now. We want to say a big thank you to you. All right. If we are online and you don't come out to watch us, you don't come out to listen to us, then the purpose of the show is defeated. But the fact that you always come to join with us, to connect with us, to share insights with us, to drop comments and all, it gives us great joy. I am your host, Pastor ATM, and as usual, I have with me my wonderful niece, Darasimi. So Darasimi, can you say hi to everyone watching you from home?
Hi. Okay, good afternoon everyone, and thank you for joining this show once again. We hope we'll get higher in Jesus' name, and God bless.
All right, thank you. God bless everyone who is joining with us. All right, so we are not going to waste any more time waiting. We hope people continue to join us as we go ahead in the show. So Darasimi, what are we up to today? For those who have maybe are joining us for the very first time, people who are joining us for the first time, I think it's good we give them a background of what we are doing on this show.
Okay, so technically what we'll do is we talk about the book called Battlefield of the Mind by well-known preacher Joyce Meyer, and since then we are in the part 3 of the book, and I think this is chapter 17 or 18 of the book, and if you just join, maybe you should, watch from the beginning, and you could like come back to this and you can watch it because it's live and you can watch it later on during the day or even next week or any day. And then we do it every Saturday. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just like she has said, Battlefield of the Mind, and we have been on it for a number of weeks now. So in case you miss any part of it, she has told you still have opportunity to rewatch them. Either you want to watch on YouTube or you want to rewatch it on Facebook, any of them, you are going to get those content there. So you have opportunity to rewatch them. We ensure that they are usually very short, so it's something you can run through within a short time. So, but then that is not to discourage you from the show today. I can assure you that you are going to be blessed today. So Darasimi, let's delve into the business for the day. What do you have for us today?
Okay, so chapter 18. This is the third or second part of the book, of part 3 of the book, and we're talking about responsibility, and the name of the chapter 18 is someone do it for me. I don't want to take the responsibility. So this is where you have to take responsibility, and that lazy demons enter your mind of feeling because you're in the mind of Christ. And in the Christian way, responsibility can be defined as a response to God's ability to be responsible. Okay, sorry. Because I said responsibility can be defined as a response to God as ability. To be responsible is to respond to the opportunities that God has placed in front of us. So this means in the Christian way, in general ways, you taking charge of something. Maybe if you're at the house, like if you're in the US, you're in the UK, yeah, maybe abroad, but not in like if you're not in African, and even in African you do that because when you went to your house, the responsibility of your either she or he, young or old, you have to pay the rent, electricity, because you will need light, watch TV. To be able to watch this, because you need to charge your phone, plug your TV, plug your iPad, plug your laptop, because they could die easily. And so you have to take responsibility of something you have to do. Your house, you have to take responsibility to pay the rent for it. And if you have the car too, you have, like if you're in the abroad now, you have to pay insurance on it when it's finished, because you will need money, because if it's spoiled, you won't get any backup with it. But if you had insurance, there's responsibility either put insurance on it or not. So that's technically what responsibility is. And in the Christian way, the same thing. I said it's responding to God's ability, like responding to opportunity God has placed in front of us. Like I think that's the meaning of responsibility to me, and I don't know. Comment down below if you have another option of what responsibility is to you.
Good. Please drop a comment of your understanding of the concept of responsibility. He has told us that responsibility is your response to God's ability, your response to the opportunities that God places on your table. Just like God is not going to force anyone to do anything, He opens opportunity for you, but it is your responsibility to take those opportunities and make the most of them. All right. I'm sure you have more points you want to discuss with us on this issue of responsibility. Can we go ahead into that? Darasimi.
Okay, so that was the beginning. I've explained the meaning of responsibility and what should do. So we are going to talking about Abraham. So if you don't know, I don't know where it's in the Bible. I just brought it out from somewhere in the book, and it says God gave Abraham to go to Canaan. But instead of going all the way with the Lord, he chose to stop and say, so he backed and said, I can't be bothered to do, like I always say to my friend, I can't be bothered to do that, I can't be bothered to do this. But this is the point, it's not your point, it's God. And you can't back and say you can't be bothered, because Lot and other people that will get the consequence of them, because it was Abraham's responsibility to take them to Canaan, not their own, and they did not know the responsibility that's going to come after them. It could be death, it could be anything, but they didn't know the consequence. It was Abraham's responsibility to take them to Canaan. But to trust the backer. So this means that you should never back up for anything God tells you to do, because if you do, there will always be consequences, and the biggest consequences you don't want to have is death, because you don't want to die young. So yeah. So the second one is another totally different one, and
I
so
like us to I like us to emphasize the issue.
hello again network. Okay, so when it comes back, you'll be able to talk more. So the second one says a baby has no responsibility at all, but as the child grows, it is expected to take more and more responsibility. One of the main roles of a parent is to teach their children to accept responsibility. God desires to teach his children the same thing. So this means God desires to teach us, his children, responsibility, to accept responsibility, to have responsibility. And it's my responsibility to say this because it's whenever someone is dragging me and spiritually and physically actually spiritually and physically you have to take more responsibility as you grow older, as you become a teenager, as you become a young adult, as you become a mother, a parent, you have a responsibility over your child, over your life itself. You have to have responsibility because not your parents will be everything over you. So so you have to take responsibility, and the main roles that why parents is to teach their children responsibility, to tell their children you have to respond to this, you have to respond to that, you have to have a ability, responsibility with this and that. As I was saying at the last one, a car, responsibility over it's a really big word. I can't say it right away. And then you just need to have responsibility in your life because if you don't have your responsibility, you'll be useless. Like you're actually just useless. Then there will be no point of you even coming to life because all you do is like you're never working hard and you don't even have responsibility over your children, and your children are like really maybe making his back. The third one is people who must always have someone else. People who must always have someone else pushing them will never really do anything great. And this one like a continuation of the second because I talk about this. And those who only do what is right when someone is looking won't get very far either. And you must be motivated from within, not from without. I didn't get that one, so I'm going to explain that one in more detail because now I understand your name. Okay, and we must live our lives before God, know that He sees all and that our reward will come from Him. And if we persist in doing what He asks us to do. Okay, so the main part about it is we're talking about the you must be motivated from within the from without part. So it means that someone doesn't have to be pushing you to do something like you're supposed to do. So like children and we don't like doing a lot of chores, but we have to. My parent doesn't have to shout on us before we do something, and a lot of people struggle with that. And but it's able to take responsibility because if people keep pushing you, you won't get far. Okay, so you won't really do anything great in life because people are keep pushing you. You want to do your job, people will push you. You want to feed your child, people will push you. To buy something, people will push you to do something. To even spend your money, to take your card out of your wallet, people will push you to get a wallet, to get your card out of your wallet. So um, because if you really want to buy something, you will need your card and it just okay.
All right, thank you. This is before my network messed up earlier. I was going to talk about that Abraham and the example you gave about Abraham, that uh, Abraham settled at Haran when he was supposed to go to Canaan, and that made everybody around him, everybody who went with him, to also settle at Haran. Can
I
you hear
guess
me?
I'm okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. That is, if you fail to take responsibility for your whole life, you are not just failing yourself, you are failing God who has given you that responsibility, and you are also failing the destinies that are attached to you. So to take responsibility for your life goes beyond just you. It goes beyond just you. But God is depending on you to take that responsibility so that other people who are connected, like Lot, who went with Abraham, he had to settle also in Haran. The other people who went with him, they all had to settle in Haran when they could have been in Canaan. All right. And the second one that you mentioned now about being motivated, you can go just so far when every motivation you have is just external, that people push you to do anything. You have to be pushed to do your job. You have to be pushed to do this. You have to be pushed. Even your Christian life, you have to be pushed and all. You may go to an extent, but you cannot go far in life. But when you are personally motivated, the motivation comes from within you, more of within than without. Then, even when there are discouraging factors around you, you are still able to go, you are still able to fire on, because the motivation comes from within. All right, please proceed from there. Unmute your mic and proceed.
Sorry about that. So I think he clearly explained the third one for me in a much explainable way. Okay, so the first one says, always remember that if God gives you whatever you ask Him for, there is a responsibility that goes along with the blessing. If you own a home or a car, God expects you to take care of it. Lazy demons may attack your mind and your feelings, but you have the mind of Christ. Okay, so this means that when you ask God for something and He gives it to you and He will be given to you, you don't expect that there will be a responsibility over it. Because if you ask for God for money for financial issue, yeah, you got a house, you got a car, you have to take away and be saying all over like million times in this show. Like if you have a house, you have to take responsibility around rent, electricity, water, every furniture at home, everything, your devices, and you have to take responsibility over it. And everyone should know that even if you are bad or good, you always have responsibility for something. You must be responsible for everything you do. And this comes with integrity, because you have to be responsible for something you did, even though you don't like it. You have to have integrity so people can trust you and will be able to give you something because they know you can take responsibility, and if you did something, you have integrity that you did it. And we should know that sometimes when all of this happens, lazy demons may come to attack you, but because you are in the mind of Christ, you have integrity, you have responsibility, you have trust. People have trust in you. The lazy demons will not be able to attack your mind or your feelings.
All right, thank you. You mentioned earlier that the demon of laziness can sometimes come against you or try to attack you, but it is your responsibility to actually not allow them to hold you back. It is your responsibility. One of the greatest thing you have to know is that there are a lot of times when we pray, and the reason why we don't get answers, or we don't seem to get answers for the things we are praying for, is that we have not matched our prayer with a show of our ability to take responsibility for that thing. Okay? If God gives that thing to you, God knows that you are not in your mind, you are not ready to take responsibility for it. So, and God is not a waster of resources. But when God gives you what you pray for this, and God gives it to you and all, He also expects that you take responsibility for that. All right, please go ahead.
Okay, so the last one, and that will explain it again, explainable for people who doesn't understand what I'm talking about. And that's why it's here, honestly. And then the last one, okay, so the last one is like it says if you use wisdom, not any type of wisdom, not human wisdom, but the wisdom of God, you will find God meeting your needs, all your needs, which means if you need something, God will give it to you because you have the wisdom of God. And anyone operating in the mind of Christ will walk in wisdom, not in emotion. So when you walk in the mind of Christ, when you walk in the way, in the right way, you will always find yourself you always find God meeting your needs, and you always walk in the wisdom of God. And that is the last thing for today. And what I want to bring out of this is you have to be responsible, have integrity, so people will be able to trust you. Thank you. I will see you next time.
Thank you very much. The summary is you are 100% responsible for your own life. You are 100% responsible for what your life turns out to be and all of that. You are responsible for it. God will only give you opportunities. It is your responsibility to either take them or reject them. And there are consequences for whatever choices you make and all. And we should not blame God for the consequences that we choose, or the consequences of the actions or the decisions that we make. So it is your responsibility to ensure that your destiny is fulfilled. It is your responsibility to make right choices that will enable you to fulfill what God has assigned you for. All right, thank you, Darasimi. Thank you so much for today. And we also want to thank Pastor Joyce Mayer for this wonderful book that has been a real big blessing to the world and has been a real big blessing to us also. All right, for everyone who has connected with us, both on YouTube, on Facebook, we want to say a big thank you to you, a big shout out to all of you. We cannot know your name except you drop comments for us. But for everyone who has connected, whether we know your name or not, we want to say a big thank you to you. Till we'll see you again next week, Saturday, the same time, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.